Bulgarians, Koreans, very nice. At some point today, we're gonna be doing a what's the series called? Oh yeah, playing ranked like a tournament game, which I think would be really cool. So Bulgarians against Koreans is probably two very weak Arabians, to be fair. It's funny because I think in this matchup, I think I prefer the Bulgarians to some extent. Like they have a better late game with the Hussar rating and whatnot. But throughout most of the game, Koreans will just be better. So it's the kind of thing we have to watch out. We do have to watch out. So right off the bat, I want to start thinking about the matchup. And in this matchup, I would definitely be thinking like, okay, Koreans have really nice archer gameplay throughout the game. And Bulgarians are notorious for opening men-at-arms. The problem is if I open men-at-arms and he plays archer opening, it's a very hard counter. So right off the bat, I don't want to go men-at-arms. I know that for a fact, just based on the Civ matchup. So instead, I'm going to go for a scout rush and try to take advantage of the slow start that the Koreans have. And then I might go for a fast forging if I find a window to do damage. Or I'll just switch to skirms and go for a fletching scout skirm gameplay. Standard opening with no bonus. I think that's a nice plan B there. What's up, Prashant? How's it going, bro? So that's going to be the game plan going into this opening. And then we usually like to adapt. I don't like to make the whole game plan. I usually just like to adapt after the opening. So we don't have to like think too much in the early game. And also, a lot of things can happen, you know. I can kill 5 builds, and then I want to do something very radical. Or maybe I want to chill after killing 5 builds, or maybe I get no damage, maybe I take damage. We have to adapt based on the situation. So here I found all my sheep. I know my deer on the front. I'm going to actually go back to the front with my scout and use my sheep to scout the backside. Next, Phil can go ahead and grab house into the mill. Bulgarian Drush will hit before the archers, but in general, I think archers still do quite well against the Drush, no problem. And I don't think Bulgarians have any bonuses for a Drush, right? So you're gonna just, you know, go for a Drush. Okay, sure, into men-at-arms, sure, he's got archers. Doesn't do too much. And it's not a bad opening. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just don't see the purpose of doing that. I'd rather just go for my scouts and control the game. You have any OP builder for Arabia? Yeah, so on my so for my Twitch subscribers in my Discord, I have a bunch of builders that are very helpful, and also for my Patreon members, if you're interested in that as well, with video tutorials on Patreon. And basically, the best one at the moment is the Georgians like 17 pop or like 16 build Scout Rush. If you want something OP, I think that's the one that's the most OP at the moment. It's quite hard to do, but if you can, you know, master it, then that's pretty much the best build in Arabia at the moment. So definitely check that out if you guys are subscribers. Join my Discord. If you guys are not subscribed, I recommend Patreon. I think Patreon has a lot of good content there, so definitely check that out. How to improve, how to surprise your friends, come out with something special. I think you'll find the answers there. Who is the best arena player in the world, you reckon? It depends. Probably Tattoo Viper are up there, but I think I do quite well on arena myself. When it comes to like, you know, a one arena game in a tournament, I think I do quite well usually. I have a decent win ratio on arena, but I'd say probably like Tasso or Viper would probably be your strongest arena players. Maybe Vinchester ranks quite highly as well. So go ahead and pick up the 19 pop uptime here. Picked up Loom just because I didn't really want to greed it up. Koreans can easily open militia of their own, so I felt like, you know, I don't want to risk going for a super fast up with no Loom. I recognize that that's like not the best wood line, so what I'm going to do is go for a second wood line. Probably right there. Just kind of make up for the fact that that's not the best wood line. I don't want to put all my villages here because it'll run out too fast. It's a bit too small. So instead we just go for the second wood line. And this is something I rarely do in Arabia these days, go for the second wood line. Just because usually you get one wood line that's like really solid, but you know, in this case, quite happy to take the second wood line. Alright, so you're gonna go barracks there on the front. So go ahead and put that there. And so as you can see here, I'm executing my opening strat based on the matchup and trying to set up my map now for some kind of walls. Walling here is a bit too large, so maybe I'll wall the front, maybe I'll wall here, and maybe here. Something like that could make sense. Maybe one day I'll wall this as well. But instead of focusing on walling, I think instead what I'm going to do is just focus on putting some pressure instead. And now let's see what he's going to do. So I know what I'm going to do. It's just going to be a scout rush. And let's see what he is going to do. We're going to need a house over on this side. And now he's going to go for the range. So I have a choice actually to open range myself, which might actually be better. But I'm going to decide to just open stable. Not going to trade there. I don't think I'll get enough value. So I just end up not doing much. What's up, Tim? Continue scouting around. Set up a house. And this is something I always talk about. Always talk about. Which is you set up a house, or set up your stable, and then your two builders of the stable will wall one to one side, one to the other. And then this just sets up your game so nicely. So here, I'm going to go ahead and pick up Horse Scholar. The reason is it's not an aggressive game. So forget about the idea to get early forging. There's no point. It's not an aggressive game at all. He's going one range, I'm going one stable, and for the most part, we're just chilling. He's coming forward with this nonsense attack. This is, I like to call it a nonsense attack, but it's actually quite good. One spear, one archer. Usually you can either avoid it and counterattack, but since he's like almost fully walled, I'm not sure if I like the idea to counterattack him. So instead of what I might just do is fight army on army. Although he's taking some really good trades here. Making sure to farm as soon as I get the wood for it to stay efficient. Transform that wood into food as soon as I can. And now we can wall this side, like we spoke about. So I have already a decent setup of walls. I know he can only attack me from like the left side now, which is pretty good. Let me just double check this area, make sure that's walled. And it looks like it is. Get a click inside his base, see if I can enter. No, he's fully walled. I'm gonna go back and probably clean up his stuff. Honestly, I think I'm going to switch to a range just because I probably want to range against Koreans anyways. Like at some point. So I might just go for a range here. There's a threat he attacks me right here. Yeah. There's a threat something comes. Gotta be careful. I'm not going to make any more scouts. Might switch to a range. He's got a forward gold, so we can pressure him quite hard with a scrim switch. I waited until the scout passed by though. Because I don't want him scouting it. Let's see if I can block him. Nice. He still hasn't scouted the range switch, which is nice. Any way you can hide information from your opponent, you should definitely take it. You need to get 2 more hits on that guy. It should be easy to kill. I don't think he's got a way out here. Yeah. Nice. Couple skirms, although not too interested in making a lot, just gonna make a few. Problem here is that I actually don't know where he is at with this army. So what we're gonna do, instead of walling this side, I'm gonna leave 1 scout patrolling and then 1 scout here. These are the 2 entrances to my base, and then with the other 2 scouts I'm gonna scout the map. So 1 will scout the top side and 1 will scout the bottom, and this way I'll be able to find the relics and also stay pretty safe on defense. We'll mass a few skirmishers here just to stay relatively safe at home. All right. There we go. Yo, Squashy AoE, thanks for the 34 months, man. Appreciate it. Yo, Larry, thanks for the raid. Hope we had a nice stream. Yo, in that Scout Sicilians game, I didn't watch the whole thing, but like, why weren't you raiding with Lycav, by the way? Because you were complaining about the woads, which is absolutely true. Like, the unit is way better than the sergeants. I know, like, the sergeant's, like, your best bet, but I think you had to, like, raid with the Lycav a lot earlier there. Yeah, like, Vivi especially, he's the guy that just does not like to play defense. If you just start raiding him, he could just crumble. I feel like you had a really, really good chance to win that one. That's okay. It's the only game I watched. You might have went, like, 10-0. I only lost that. I'm commenting on the loss. You want to do what happened? Brain lag? How do you know he's not all in feudal? Well, he could be all in feudal, but he's gonna be all in feudal with Koreans who spent all feudal walling, so he's gonna be quite weak. That's why I'm making the skirms, just in case he is doing something weird. But yeah, it looks like it's just standard up to cast this year. Got dogged? I got dogged. You have to be the guy dogging first, though. You gotta be sending the cav. You gotta dog him back. Okay, this is where normally I'd be okay playing defense, but I'm actually noticing a really nice setup here where we can attack. So he's got forward gold. He's also got a secondary gold here and a very flat area in the front, with the only hills being the ones I control. So going for a siege push or something like that can be really strong. So we're gonna go ahead and set that up. Now, he could be doing wagons, but no, not really. We have access to both stones. Okay. Okay, not bad. So we're going to be going aggressive with skirms. And the thing is, do we follow it with knights? I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just setting up a small, very weird wall here. It's like if he comes around the side, he hits my gold, at least he won't hit the wood. That's kind of like the theory. Walling this would just be better though. So maybe I should just start house walling this side. Actually, that's a better idea. I changed my mind. If I'm going to start house walling, I might as well just commit to the right house wall. This would be very helpful in late game as well. And let's go ahead and move out with the skirms now. And with the single goal of pressuring that gold area of his. Now we're going to do a 2 TC play back home. So once the berry's finished, we'll probably do a TC right here, which will defend my main area here quite nicely.
Lessons from the goat. Thanks for all you do, bro.
Alright. Go ahead and pick this up. So I'm surprised we were up faster, but we'll just pick up some eco upgrades here. Probably should have picked up the gold upgrade a bit earlier. Thank you, Tim, for the 34 months, man. Appreciate it. Now we go ahead and pressure the gold, and now let's see what's popping. So this is where I think it's really hard for Koreans to do a whole lot. This is why I think you could prefer Bulgarians over them. They recently buffed gates though, so these scrims are actually very bad against gate. It's crazy how that gate buff is actually like a nerf to elite skirm, which is probably good actually. That gate buff is amazing, yeah, that's probably a good thing. Skirm shouldn't be able to break through gates that easily. These got crossbows, we know this now, so I'll probably save a few skirms at home. And so now I have a couple options. I could go for 30C boom, but I think what I'm going to do is go for that forward siege. And there he is. And the reason I reacted so fast is because I knew a counterattack is possible. So like first step to reacting. Now we're going to send our army back since he's obviously just gone for a siege defense. And I'm going to go for a 30C. Question is where? All the way at the back seems horrible, but we're going to do it anyway. And we're going to invest our army into putting some pressure. My cav I don't really need. Cav will defend this guy. I was a bit late to run those guys back, I guess. So, okay, he'll trade his army for vills. Definitely a lot of damage here, though. My bad on that one. Probably a bit unnecessary as well. Yeah, it's probably a bit too bad on my end. Yeah, so my army came back for no reason. That's one pallet side. We got punished for it. Yeah. But we have a nice military advantage now. And so now I'm loving the siege push here. It's perfect. And the reason is he just lost his army, killed a lot of vills. But now we have a nice house wall on defense. We have actually a really nice setup overall. And we have a siege push going, so we can get back some kind of damage here, which is good. And score is still in my favor, which honestly, I'm not even sure why it's the case, like that heavily. I guess it must be scouting or something like that. Always scouting or water. Anonymous, next to the 5 gifted subs, really appreciate it. I wonder if it's the same person as yesterday. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Or before yesterday? Yeah, before yesterday. Or yesterday. I don't remember. I don't remember. Alright, so these scouts are actually quite crucial. Keeping out what he's going for. Not bad. Where's the tower? Now he's got some towers coming up. I'm hesitant to make more mangonels. So what I want to do now, actually, it's a really, really nice transition. We're going to go ahead and pick up relics and look to boom into late game where I have the middle of the map. I've already forced so much on defense. What I like to do now is just use my mangonels to pick off stray buildings off the side, like a barracks, a blacksmith, whatever. And look to boom. We have Hussar late game. We do not lose late game here. Hussar Scrum would just destroy Koreans, especially if you added some siege to that. Some onagers or whatnot, maybe some scorpions. Now we like to trade, and now we look to pick up some relics, and maybe even a 4th DC here would be amazing. The key, though, is to not overextend and not lose my mangonels. So just continue trading here. I don't mind. Like, that's one skirm, unnecessary. Don't want to do that. Nice. He's got his mangonel here, so I'm just going to rotate over to this side. But again, killing that barracks. What's the implication of killing that barracks, right? That one is huge. It's going to slow down his halb transition. And bet nobody even thinks about that right now, right? It's way into the future. No, he's not thinking, oh, I just lost my barracks. It's really bad. He's thinking, okay, I don't really need the barracks anyway. By simple rotation, we're forcing yet another reaction. This is great. I'm not scared of knights. I have my own knights, just in case. I don't know where they went, but I had them. I think I might have lost them at this rate. But I could always make my own knights. I actually invested into knights of my own. Now I'm going to loop around. I'm going to loop around and hit this area, hit the market. And I'm going to go really big on those side attacks. The reason why we're just hitting side buildings, that if I try to overcommit and I lose my army, then he can all of a sudden come castle forward, castle middle of the map, and just reclaim everything, which is so bad for me, right? So instead, what I want to do is just maintain this tension, maintain this control, force him to do all kinds of repairs, all kinds of nasty stuff like remaking houses, stuff he doesn't want to be doing when booming. And there you go, defensive castle from him. This is what he's forced into here. Don't care about the scouts, so might as well try something. Go for the builds. I don't really care about the crossbows. Alright, nice. And now go for... Nice. Why isn't red making knights? The thing is, knights would not work though, because I actually have a lot of good options against knights. like my own knights, like monks, like even a couple CA. And he'd have to invest into +1 armor, a stable, and a few knights to clear me up, which is a lot. He already invested into siege, right? That's the choice he made. So all this army I don't care about now. I'm going to switch into Hussar. Or maybe Cavalier, we'll see. But I think Hussar is fine. Just directly Hussar. Nice. Gonna try to be annoying. Remember, we killed this barracks. That's gonna make it really awkward to switch into another. We have the 5 relics. Now we have a bigger economy. He should have usually the attack here. But since we have the skirm random mangonel pressure, we're buying a lot of time here. A lot of time. To try to kill that market still. Amazing. Alright. Now we want to transition a lot of our economy here. Just try to get this last relic. So we have 4 relics. Get a market. Now we want to go for the Hussar pressure. And again, probably better is Cavalier, but I think we can conserve our gold and maybe go heavy Scorpion here. Use that armor. It's in now. Huge. Alright, now what we need... Little castle here for stirrups. And a Hussar switch. So the reason why we get such a strong position on the map now is that we have the relic, we have a lot of villas, a lot of economy, and we have his base pretty opened up because of all the pressure we did earlier on. So we're in a prime position here to continue the pressure and continue to be the guy attacking, which is huge. It's ultimately what you want, right? Especially as the Hussar player. So now he needs to do a halb transition, 100%. Oh, wait, why'd they go back? That was weird. This guy should have just went in, but I guess they had other duties. Okay, we want to get stirrups right away. A bit late on the castle, by the way, it's my bad. Alright, we want to try to get some raids in. There we go. Raid the sides. Don't care for any push in the center. Until I see halbs, I am not worried. Now, to prepare for halbs, I have either the Scorpion option or I have the Skirmisher option. In the past, I would go Skirmisher, but I'm going to go ahead and try out the new Scorpions. Just to have a little bit more fun. Try those guys out. Maybe even Siege Ram can be nice, but I think we need an anti-halb first, because like he 100% should be on some kind of halb here. Which is going to be delayed because I killed this barracks. Which matters, by the way. You might think that doesn't matter, it's just one barracks. It actually matters a lot. He's going for a last-ditch effort here. I think it's quite a good one as well. It's probably the best play you could go for. I wasn't ready for this. We're gonna lose a lot here. Yeah. No town watch. There's the reason I wasn't ready for that. My bad. But still, I think it's nothing compared to what damage I got. So, and I will eventually clean this up. So, overall, you know what? We're still happy with it. But definitely a good move on his end. Scorpions can come out. Nice. Okay, it should be clean. Got more. So there we go. He's got the helps. This is perfect. So then we get the relics. This is very perfect. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We had the scorpions before I even saw the helps. I knew he has to do it. Hope you guys understand. There's no choice. It's like he doesn't have an answer of Hussar, so he has to do it. So then we go for the scorpions, which is actually really, really cheap. If you think about it here, ballistics and chemistry, very important upgrades on the scorpions nowadays. I also want to prepare siege ram, but I want to get some map control here with some. Oh wow, a lot of Hussar there. I want to get some map control with some Krapos here. I don't know how to do that. I'll just try to throw this out there and see what happens. Alright, let's start preparing a siege. It'll be a mix of rams and scorpions. And remember, because I went only Hussar, I actually have so much set up. So much gold set up for siege play, which is nice. It's kind of like the one benefit of going straight Hussar. Usually I wouldn't recommend it. I think Cavalier first is usually better, but in this case I think this is perfectly fine. Get conscription, siege ram, and start setting up my scorps. I get one Krapos here just to really gain control of that area before any raids start coming in from him. Not that I think he will start raiding. I don't think he's got raiding army, but you know, just in case. And now here's the thing. I'm going to set up a nice push with my siege. Oh, and he looks like it just calls the GG. He succumbed to my raids. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to set up a nice push with the siege. I'm going to be pushing in with the Hussar / Trebs on this side. And we're going to constantly be raiding him with the Hussar at the same time. But again, notice we have this position in late game where we have the relics and we have the Hussar. But this game really showed the build-up into how we got that position. We got that position through having that skirm siege push early on, recognizing he's just hardcore turtling. So we just transition into relics, transition to a full boom, get imp a bit later, but then we get imp with full control of the entire game and 5 relics. GG.